Heroes of Civilization, presented by Dr. Norrie du Maurier.
We now present incidents from the life story of Joseph Lister, who by his discoveries of antiseptics and their application to surgery has saved the lives of countless millions of his fellow beings. Joseph Lister, whose parents were well-to-do Quakers, was born in the village of Upton in Essex in 1827. Even in his boyhood, Lister would dissect small animals, and while still at school, he wrote a paper on the human structure and delivered lectures to his school fellows. Later, he proceeded to University College London, for as a Quaker, he could not then go to either Oxford or Cambridge. He qualified as a doctor in 1851. Absorbed in his work, Lister became a rather austere man, though always kind and considerate. Let us now recreate a scene at the old University College Hospital about the year 1853. Doctors Dawson and Sutter, house surgeons, are talking quietly as they proceed along one of the wards. Phew, the stench is almost unbearable in here today, Sutter.
Yes, sir. Practically every case in the ward has gangrene now. Getting worse this hot weather.
You know, Sutter, I think we'll have to do as Professor Jackson advises and pull down our hospitals and build new ones every 4 or 5 years.
Looks very like it, sir. Gangrene and other blood diseases seem to be in the walls of the old hospitals.
There's no doubt of it. Hello? What's going on here? Who's been scrubbing the floor and screening off those beds?
Dr. Lister, experimenting by permission of the senior house doctor.
Great heavens, have we got to put up with that cranky Quaker in our ward now?
It seems so, sir.
Huh. As though we're not having enough bother. You know, Sutter, it amazes me the way house surgeons will let these cranks meddle in hospital administration.
Quite so, sir. But here is Dr. Lister.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Dr. Dawson. You, Dr. Sutter. What a very pleasant day it is.
Good morning, Lister. I didn't expect to find you here.
So I gathered, Dr. Dawson. However, the meeting is fortunate. I wanted to ask your assistance in a little matter.
By all means, Lister, what can I do?
Firstly, instruct your assistants to keep away from the 6 patients I have screened off at the end of Ward 10.
What? Really? Lister,
Secondly, Dr. Dawson, I have separate sponges and dressing supplies for each of my patients. Your assistants are not to use them or others or contact them in any way.
Confound your impertinence, Lister. I'll not be spoken to in this way. To hear you talk, one would think myself and my staff were infected with plague.
Exactly, Dr. Dawson. You have stated the true position. You and your filthy assistants are ruining important experiments in asepsis and antiseptics. Should the position be not rectified at once, I shall be forced to take the matter up with the senior house surgeon. Now, gentlemen, I wish you good morning.
Sutter, confound it. To what extent must we tolerate this obstinate blockhead?
A good deal, I'm afraid, sir. He's wealthy, influential. In short, he has a friend at court.
Well, I too have influence, and I shall get Lister out of this hospital if it's the last thing I do. The opposition of the doctors and the failure of his early experiments greatly disappointed Lister. Next year, in 1853, he was made a Fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons and went to Edinburgh for further study. He was welcomed with open arms by the great James Syme, then the most intelligent surgeon in Europe. Lister worked for 3 years with Syme, but did little to develop his theories on antiseptics until one evening in 1856. Something occurred which altered the whole course of Simpson's life. He proposed marriage to Syme's daughter Agnes, and was accepted.
Agnes, my dear, that you should accept me is indeed wonderful. It fulfills my wildest hopes.
But, darling, you have other hopes, and I have shared them all these years while you've worked with Father.
I don't quite follow you, Agnes, dear.
Your research work,
Oh.
the hope of perfecting antiseptics. Oh, Joseph, how wonderful if only you could do it.
Almost a vain hope, my dear. We're always disappointed. Our results are often encouraging. Suddenly our theories collapse. I tell you, Agnes, there is something which gets into wounds and causes mischief. And what that something is has always perplexed me and every other investigator. I fear we're beaten.
What nonsense, Joseph. A brilliant man like you being beaten by a problem.
My dear, out of every 100 people we operate upon, more than 60 meet a dreadful death from blood poisoning. How are we to save them? The difficulties are so many, Agnes.
Just so. And after years of work, you know all the difficulties. Therefore, with persistence, you will soon overcome them.
You inspire great confidence, Agnes. But science does not work that way. We need more than persistence.
Joseph, I refuse to admit you can be beaten. That is my last word on the subject.
Oh, Agnes, bless you. How I wish we could conquer scientific difficulties by a woman's delightfully illogical line of reasoning.
On the contrary, Joseph, I'm entirely logical in thought. For instance, you mention a something which gets into wounds.
Yes.
Well, is it a living thing or a dead body?
Pasteur says it is a living thing called a microbe. Similouis says it is a dead organism.
And what do you say of it?
I'm not sure yet. I think Pasteur is right in his germ theory.
Well, then, germs are some sort of disease vermin, are they not?
Yes, in a way.
And if a housewife had to combat vermin of any type, she'd find something to kill them with.
Yes.
Now, my great scientist, do you promise me that if I do my part as your wife, you will never give up until you have conquered this something which gets into wounds?
Yes, my darling, and gladly. For with you as my guiding star, failure must be impossible.
It was a happy union, and Agnes was at all times Lister's most loyal helper. Now we find the couple in 1867 in Lister's office in the Glasgow Infirmary, where he's been appointed Professor of Surgery.
Joseph, it is so exciting. The big test today, after 11 years' work. Will it succeed?
Well, we shall see in due course, my dear. Now wait till Mr. Calvert arrives.
Oh, I wish he would hurry.
Bide your time, lass. Here is Calvert.
How do you do, Mrs. Lister?
Mr. Calvert.
Well, Professor, is this the day?
Yes, Mr. Calvert. He has a suitable case. It's just come in. A little boy of 11 with a broken leg.
Is that the case you want, Professor?
Well, Calvert, as I said when I asked you to extract carbonic acid for me, and then make carbolic oil, I'm of the opinion that the acid will kill most of the microbes, or vermin, as my wife calls them, which infect wounds. Now, I have a suitable case to test it on. A compound fracture of the leg with the resultant broken flesh. You know, we usually lose over half of such cases through infection of the bone and tissue.
And you propose to try carbolic oil on it as a dressing?
More than that, Calvert. I intend to wash the leg in carbolic solution, set the bones, apply splints, and bind it up in a carbolic oil dressing and await developments.
When will we know the results?
Oh, in about 4 days, if the patient's condition is satisfactory, then we'll know whether or not we have discovered a workable antiseptic. Now, come with me and we'll make the test.
So this is the lad,
Yes,
Dr. Lister.
that's right. Now then, young Jimmy Adams, look your best, my boy. You've gone 4 days with that fractured leg. Now, these gentlemen have come here to examine you. How do you feel?
Fine, thank you, Doctor. Just a little pain.
Oh, well, that'll soon be over. Now, gentlemen, I've already explained the history of this case to you, and Mr. Calvert has lectured you briefly on the carbolic acid, which he has isolated from creosote. You can see the obviously healthy condition of the patient.
Yes.
Wonderful color. Now, I will cut the outer bandages. Steady, young fellow, steady.
Yes.
There, that's right. Now, there, gentlemen, please examine.
Wonderful.
Not a sign of infection.
Professor Lister, on behalf of the doctors assembled here, may I congratulate you on this wonderful victory. For victory is the only word to describe it.
Undoubtedly. Well, thank you, Dr. Foster, and you too, gentlemen. But I want you to please congratulate my chemist's helper and friend here, Mr. Calvert, who extracted carbolic acid for me. Without him, there would have been no antiseptics. My thanks and congratulations also to you, Master Jimmy Adams, for so obligingly putting your leg under a loaded hay wagon and thus permitting me to demonstrate antiseptics to the world.
I don't know who Auntie Sepsis is, Doctor, but I'm glad you didn't cut my leg off.
No, we didn't do that, my boy. You'll be playing football soon.
Thank you, Professor.
And now, gentlemen, please excuse me, but I must hurry home to tell the news of this success to the one person who over the last 11 years has done so much, has sacrificed so much for this happy occasion. My wife. No, sir. Goodbye.
Lister had a terrific fight with the doctors of his day to have antiseptics adopted in general usage. Professional jealousy was his most difficult obstacle, but he overcame all opposition by practical demonstration. He later became president of the Royal Society. In 1883, he was made a baronet and elevated to the peerage as Lord Lister in 1897. Now, in 1902, we are present at a meeting of the Royal Society assembled to honor the 75th birthday of their president.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed a happy occasion, for we are here today to celebrate the 75th birthday of one of the greatest men who have ever lived, our honourable President, Lord Lister. Hey, Chairman, Lister, speak, Lister.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, after 35 years of work in scientific research, this congratulatory gathering is indeed an honor. I thank you most sincerely. I trust that this newly begun century will see even greater progress in surgery than has occurred in our day.
Lord Lister, please permit me. Here is a telegram addressed to the chairman of this gathering. Have I your lordship's permission to read it?
Oh, by all means do so, please, Mr. Chairman.
From His Majesty's Chamberlain to the members of the Royal Society. His Most Gracious Majesty, Edward VII, commands me to inform you that in recognition of his great work for humanity, he has decided to confer foundation membership in the Order of Merit upon your Honourable President, Lord Lister.